What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Command Centre Wargaming. I'm Brother Stevanius, and this is the Emperor's Herald. So this is a new news segment I'm putting together for Warhammer 40,000 and Horus Heresy 30k predominantly, right? So we're going to be covering regular news topics, regular releases, having a little bit of a chat about it, giving a little bit of an opinion about it. And let me know in the comments down below if it's something you're interested in me doing. With the channel spiking back up again, I will obviously be doing the tactical videos. I'll be doing the tier lists, right? I'll chuck up a painting showcase now and then, some bat reps. That's all solid in there. But I'm also looking at introducing some more regular content. So 40k, 30k news and updates. And also what I'm calling a Snapfire 5-minute meta overview, where I'll be having a look at 40k meta statistics, also Horus Heresy to a point, but the meta shifts a lot less frequently in the Horus Heresy, as we all know. So maybe that might be a monthly thing. But if that's something you're interested in, if you are interested in seeing these news segments, let me know in the comments down below, please, because depending on the audience feedback, depends on the content that I'll be making. All right. So it's very important, because obviously if nobody's really interested in it, then I'll just stick to tactical videos and have look at painting showcases and stuff like that. But it's all stuff I'm doing anyway in the hobby, so it doesn't take me very long to jump on and have a little bit of a chat about stuff here in the land of Warhammer news. So one of the biggest things that we've got going on right now is a new Custode box set that's coming out. And what's interesting, we could see here in the logo, we've actually got the Horus Heresy logo and the Warhammer 40,000 logo. Interestingly enough, it's on the same box. So, we're merging the brands again. So we've gone from, I think, what was it? 8th edition, the brands are separating again. Then 9th edition, they're coming back. And then 10th, they're separating. And now 11th, maybe they're looking to bring it back together. Which is good, because I play both systems, 100% awesome. So I want to be able to use Venatars in 40k in tournaments and things like that. So that's one of the things, like with 11th edition, that I wish they would have done. I wish they would have made it a little bit more narrative. I know that they said they were going to, but I feel as though it's actually Warhammer 11th edition 40k that it's actually gone more competitive than more narrative, right? So, but they'll have 30k for that, so whatever, right? But yeah, this box is looking pretty good. Overall, I think it's a pretty solid addition. We're basically getting a plastic version of the old Forge World models, so particularly the Telemon Dreadnought, the Pallas Grav-attack, which is like a little mini sort of rhino kind of deal, and we're also getting some of the bikes as well. So some of the old 30k bikes, which are basically in coming from resin, coming back in the plastic now, so coming into plastic. So overall, I think number one, it's a positive, because for people starting the hobby anew, if they're finding it difficult or it's not practical for them to order from Forge World, you can now find these kits boxed in store, which is amazing, right? And so it allows players to have a lot more accessibility in the hobby and expand their armies as well. Also, considering what's in the box, now I'm not sure of the overall price, but considering what's in the box, it's looking like it's pretty good value. And it's going to be in plastic though. So the problem is that the plastic versions, you're going to be putting things together a lot more, right, than you would be in the Forge World resin kits. All right, so that's the thing. So if you look at the Saturnine Dreadnought that came in the new 30k box, we all know that was like 100-part, multi-part kit. And I personally find that a little bit annoying, but I'm glad that it's plastic, right? I think a model like that in chunky resin would be pretty brutal, especially to carry it around. I'm carrying around enough already, so, it's good to lighten my bag up a bit, rather than carry around chunks of resin. But yeah, so essentially in the box, Now it's interesting here. So you can see we've got the new Dreadnought. Now, the new Dreadnought looks substantially different to the old Dreadnought. All right, the old Dreadnought. Now I'll put some links below to. I have a YouTube short available on the channel of my Telemon, and I'll put some links down below in the comments if you want to have a look at the older Telemon. You can also just Google it, obviously, but I do have one in a quick short up on the channel. I will be doing another one. I've got 4 of them here. I think 4 or 5 unpainted because I have some with fists, some with guns, some with the Arachnus cannons, some with, it's the storm cannons. So they're all got different kits. But it's one of my favorite models, and I'm pretty excited to have it come out in plastic. I will be honest though, having a look at the old models and the old kits, I'm thinking that I would probably prefer personally to just use the resin kit for things like the Pallas Grav tank and the bikes, simply because, for ease of assembly. I'm not sort of one to want to be putting together fine scale modeling kits. And again, I've said it on the channel many times. For that kind of thing, if I want to go put together a model kit of a tank or something, I'll go buy Tamiya. What I want in the hobby is to be able to just 1, 2, 3, get my model, boom, 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 paint it up, because I like the painting side of things, right? I enjoy that. I don't mind spending time on that. And then get it on the table, right? And especially because the amount of armies that I play, and also the amount of armies that we have to field on the table, it's a big time sink going through and sitting there and spending like 2 days putting each panel on every bit of the Pallas vehicle, right? But with that said, look, I'm not complaining because it's awesome that they're in plastic because it makes them more available, right? I will say personally, like, I'm thinking with the new design, there are some design changes with this one and the old one, the old Telemon Dreadnought. You could see here that they've gone through and they've added some new sort of ornamentation around those shoulder plates here. You've also got some of these tassels coming down. You got tassels and ornamentation coming down from the midsection here. Although I think they look good, I personally am hoping that they will have it so they're optional pieces. Now, those are easy to be cut off, right? The tassels, right? And you could probably file them off as well. I can't see them being part of the plastic, but if they are, you can shave them off. The part which is going to be very annoying, in my opinion, for modeling, will be these ornamentation pieces here, right? If they're actually inbuilt to the plastic, that's going to annoy me, because for my dreadnoughts and things, I do like a sort of like a candy marble effect on these shoulder pads. And I personally like to, put stickers there or paint stuff on there. I don't want to be locked into this generic pattern. So that's just one thing there with the Telemon. With these jet bikes, so they're pretty much the same as they were. The only things that I've noticed is perhaps this gap here might be a little bit smaller than the older models, a bit narrower, but it's hard to tell from the photo. So until I actually get a photo in my hand, like, who knows? But what I will say is I'm looking at the old kits. It looks like these new custode models here, these heads, that these are actually different sculpts now than the old jet bike 30k jet bike Forge World models. They look like different heads. Now, we might be able to swap them out. I've gotten a side-by-side comparison of them, and I've already had a look, and they look very different to me. They also look scaled down, more to match the new scale proportions of the new line of Games Workshop Custodes. All right. And it's awesome as well because, look, it's just fantastic to have everything for dual systems, especially for players like myself who play both systems. So massive win here. Great to have them available. Great to have them in plastic. It's fantastic. So the next thing that's coming out is the Horus Heresy, a new journal coming out. Now, I will be doing a video of this. The last journal that I got my hands on was the Zone Mortalis journal. And I've had like multiple games of Zone Mortalis now. And I've got to be honest, spoiler for my video that's coming, talking about Zone Mortalis resurrecting the Horus Heresy, because, you know, we all know I sort of went blank for a little bit because I couldn't stand Horus Heresy 3.0. But I believe Zone Mortalis has breathed new light into the system. That's for another video, but it has done so for me anyway. I am a massive fan of the new rule sets for Zone Mortalis Horus Heresy 3.0. All right, now this looks like it's another compendium. It's basically going to be focusing on the Burning of Prospero, having a look at the Custodes side of things more in detail, why they were called there, what the process was of being called there. There's going to be some missions, some new missions based around that lore and everything like that within the Burning of Prospero. I feel as though it could be really awesome if they had some new Space Wolf content in there as well to go along with those missions. You know, Space Wolf ally rules, certain unit rules, things like that. And even putting some new rules in there for Thousand Suns or some upgrades and things like that would be awesome too. Maybe some, you know, incorporating some of the new kits like the new shotguns and everything as well. So, yeah, that's looking awesome. Find out how the indomitable Legio Custodes were dragged into the Burning of Prospero and how they fought the Scourge of Sorcery at every turn. So that's sort of telling me that we might actually get some Thousand Suns stuff in there as well. It will be a soft book. Look, I do miss my hardback bound books for the Horus Heresy, don't get me wrong. But I was kind of thinking, like, they really worked well in version 1 when it was the big black books. Just give it to me soft, lower the price, which they did. I got my Zone Mortalis add-on for $43. It was a soft cover. That's fine by me, right? I would rather pay $43 personally for a soft book than pay like $90 to $100 Australian for a hardback upgrade DLC, pretty much, for a system which, you know, yeah, I could just get a soft book. It's fine, right? We have the Warhammer Horus Heresy dice, so the new ones coming out for the Custodes. I've actually got these from the 8th edition release when they were the gold version. I've also got the original special mega edition, first ever 40k Codex special edition for Custodes. And I might chuck that up on the channel as well. But yeah, the golden dice, they don't roll well. These ones look like they might roll a little bit better because we've got the actual round corners of them. I'm thinking they look cool, definitely awesome, but I'll be giving these a miss, and the reason is because I've already got the first round of Custode dice. But hey, look, you know, you get an extra pair of scatter dice in there, so why not? When in Rome, you know? When in Imperial City, you know, like, yeah, when in the Alps, you know, you're in the Alps, right? So all good. Okay, and then we've also got some old world content coming out. Now, I'll cover this really briefly because I have had a couple of games of old world. It is awesome. I watched a few games as well over at Combat Company with one of my friends, Paul EC. It is very awesome, but I haven't really had the time to get into it fully. I do have a Chaos Warrior army, but essentially what this is, we're getting new box sets which looks like older models, so like the older models, but there's like new starter boxes coming out. So that's probably going to be more for, you know, people like myself who should be getting back more into it, or people that are completely new and want to get back into the old world. And those are going to be Emperor of Man, so Empire of Man, the Beastmen. I mean, the thing is with these models though, like, you know, they still hold up. They're still amazing. I don't think these should get resculpted, to be honest. Wood Elves as well. And we've got the Goblin tribes as well, which I dare say, you know, if it was in a non-competitive game or a semi-competitive game of 40k, you could probably even, you know, proxy some of these models in, you know, to your orc army, to your existing orc army. And that's another video that I'm thinking about doing, which is with the current price rises at Games Workshop, what are some of the ways we can mitigate that by, you know, building orc armies and not necessarily buying the new kits, but maybe slap chopping and kit bashing from older kits that you might have existing or models from eBay, etc. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do that one. One of my friends has a really crazy orc army, Callum. It's just literally kit bashed off all sorts of random stuff, and it looks just amazing. In my personal opinion, orcs are there to be kit bashed. I have another friend who uses like a World War II half track as like an orc truck, and you know, it's a Tamiya model. Yeah, that's just, to me, it's awesome. But that's something you could do too if you didn't want to pay in Australia anyway the $40 price hike from the orc truck or whatever. But you know, you've got scale and sizes. That's for another video. So let me know in the comments down below. So in the next step, we have the Ralderon book that's coming out. I think this is pretty awesome as well. I actually really like Ralderon. I just finished painting Ralderon for 30k about maybe a month ago. Again, I'll chuck a link to the short on the channel if you haven't seen it. And this book, essentially, it's set obviously during the Horus Heresy. It takes place as Sanguinius leads the Imperial reprisal of the fleets, and basically Horus advances on Terra. Raldoron goes through and he's basically looking for new Inducti recruits to fill the numbers, to replace the Blood Angels' losses, and explores, you know, whether Ralderon can keep the Legion from sliding back into their brutal past, you know, their vampire, blood-sucking, crazy traditions. Highlights Ralderon's calm leadership, understanding of his brothers and companions, and also explores more in depth why he got the reputation and how he got the reputation of one of, if not the best swords people in the Imperium of Man. All right, so yeah, and it comes out pre-orders in mid-2026, so dated about September, so it should be good. We could see more cover art there, which is awesome. There's a special edition, I believe, as well, which you can buy. So that's pretty awesome as well. And then once again, just check out the Warhammer official community pages for any official news. This video is for review purposes and educational purposes only. And all good. All right, fantastic. All right, everybody, that's been the Imperial Herald for this week. If you liked the video, if you want to see more of this content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Sharing is huge, everyone, right? Share the videos around, okay? Because that's how they're going to be seen, and it helps with the algorithm. It helps the health of the channel, all right? And obviously, the more demand there is for videos of the channel, the more videos, you know, I will be making. And we'll see as well. Let's see in the comments down below who got to the end of the video. We'll see as well. We used to do some prizes. So, you know, if the channel picks up again, we've got some, it was crazy when I came back on, and I'll do a whole welcome back thing, but I don't want to be dwelling on where I was, what I was doing. I was very busy working in computer games, everyone, okay? And I also work in education. I won't go into any more details than that. But yeah, look, you know, we used to do prize draws and things like that as well. So again, if that's something that's interested in you and you've stayed to the end of the video, let me know in the comments down below so I know who's watching, and if you think the prize draws are a good idea, and specifically state that. I know people like Adam Fox, Yip Shek will probably be, and Matt Lee will probably be watching this to the end. So don't forget to drop those comments, everybody. And I will see you in the next video, Battle Brothers and Battle Sisters. Take care and happy wargaming.